No, I really shouldn't. I should boil the potato and get healthy. Did you know that the way you cook your food, we're talking about the cooking method, if you get it right, you could add years to your life, and this is why we have Sue Radd, our nutritionist. So
Hi,
it's just
James.
incredible thinking about it. I mean,
Absolutely.
chip and potato, that's pretty simple.
It's not just what you eat, but how you cook it that could determine our health outcomes.
Yes, tell us just a little bit of a brief summary.
Well,
of the
scientists have been looking at a range of chemicals that can be formed in your food
They're bad
whilst you
ones.
cook.
Yeah.
Nasty chemicals. For example, let me give you a few. Heterocyclic amines, HCAs, polyaromatic hydrocarbons, otherwise known as PARs, which can be found in meat, chicken and fish when cooked at high dry heat. Then we've got substances called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. They can be found in a cross-section of foods, which we'll look at in a minute. And even a chemical called acrylamide can be formed in food under the right conditions and in certain foods. And these chemicals are all linked with things like cancer, multiple cancers, from stomach cancer, bowel cancer, prostate cancer, pancreatic cancer, to inflammation in the body, to bringing on the complications of diabetes early, to Alzheimer's, and to basically premature death, cutting your life short. So we're curious to know where they are, because in animal studies they are strongly associated with problems, and if you know where they are, you can look at alternatives to reduce their consumption.
We really need to understand this, because if you miss the cancer that would have otherwise killed you, you could add a whole decade to your life, and who knows how long extra.
That's right. So it's important how you cook your food, not just what
show
you
us
eat.
the hows.
So, for example, the safest cooking methods would be the old-fashioned way, boiling or steaming or poaching.
Yes, put it in the pot with some
rather
water.
than pan frying or barbecuing, you know, or grilling. Even grilling, your piece of steak might be lean, but if you're grilling and browning it, the more browned the meat or the chicken is, the more of these cancer-causing chemicals
so if I boil this potato, essentially, I don't go above 100 degrees.
If you boil the potato, you'll be like the Swedish are. They always have boiled potato on the table. So boiling is safe, but if you roast or deep fry your potato like chips,
or something.
That's right, and it's very crispy and crunchy, you will have a lot more of AGEs formed and acrylamide, not to mention potato crisps. They are loaded in this chemical called acrylamide, which the International Agency for Research on Cancer has now dubbed as probably cancer-causing.
So that's why you've wrapped the fish in foil.
Well, that's right. If you're going to use fish or chicken or any of those animal products on the barbecue, what the research shows is if you marinate it, that reduces the formation somewhat, not completely, of these chemicals. Add some moisture to it. And you add something like lemon juice. Or vinegar, or you wrap it, whether it's banana leaves or foil or whatever, you will minimise the contact with not just sort of like the grill, but you will reduce the amount of carcinogens that come from the smoke from the little embers that are...
Now, I'm smiling because I stole one of the cashews before. That's why the display's a bit wrecked. But there's roast cashews.
Well, who would have thought? All nuts are healthy, of course, but did you know, James, that if you have roasted cashews, you are getting more AGEs?
Because they've been roasted at a high temperature.
Because they've been roasted at high temperature. But if you eat natural nuts, you avoid them. Chips, same thing. Most processed, ready-to-eat snack foods are loaded in acrylamide because of the dry, high heat.
Let me get these two. And they're both warm too.
Yeah, even fluids.
One's coffee and one's tea.
There can be a difference. So,
I do like my hot drinks. Now tell me, Sue, which one should I be drinking?
If you're wanting to avoid acrylamide, minimise your consumption, definitely the tea. Definitely.
Because the coffee beans have been roasted in hot
You've
temperatures.
Got it.
Okay.
So we need lower heat, lower temperature, and we need moisture, more moist cooking methods or food production methods, and a slower, longer sort of cooking time. That usually...
Now, when I go to the supermarket, I just like getting those pre-prepared breakfast cereals. Until this morning, never even thought about it. You know, you just whack them off the shelf onto your plate.
Well, it was a while ago that the Swedish Food Authority first sounded the alarm about acrylamide, but if you want to avoid the acrylamide that can hide in those box cereals, just cook your own whole grains.
In the old-fashioned way.
Or soften rolled grains.
Add
Make
some
your
moisture,
own porridge.
Put them in the pot.
That's it. And you can reduce your intake.
And don't burn your toast, and if you burn it, throw it away.
If you burn your toast, not a good idea, because the darker it is, the more acrylamide that's there. And not to mention things like processed meats. They have a whole range of other chemicals that are very, very nasty and are strongly linked with cancer, with heart disease, and even type to diabetes.
So, Sue, if you were to boil this down into the simple summary for us, what is the simple thing we need to think about in our cooking methods?
Well, one thing we should not forget is to eat more fresh, eat more raw, because simply by doing that,
salad.
we're minimising the amount of cooked food and minimising the amount of chemicals we could be ingesting. But if we are cooking and when we are cooking, use boiling, steaming, stewing, all of those older cooking methods where there's plenty of moisture, where the temperature's lower, not char grilling, not blackening things, not making them ultra crispy because, would you believe it, these chemicals are contained in much higher levels.
Look, that's amazing. And folks, you really need to go to www.sueradd.com, find out more, or if you would like to follow her on Twitter @CulinaryMed. Just go and find out how you can improve your life. Just add decades to your life. It's just incredible.